there I is. Oh, make sure I got the sound up. Okay. Give me a moment here. Ooh, super stickers. Ah, 2 likes already. Woohoo! All right, just doing some quick sharing here. If it'll show up on my feed. Sometimes YouTube. But I have sound. Well, that was weird. I was hearing another voice and must have been in the other room. Okay, and over to Twitter. Oh, that was the voice of a lobster. Oh, might be. No, I'm not doing any new spells into a poor turtle. Just got to do a painting of a turtle, so I figured I would actually do the painting of the turtle. Little tunes going here. Don't know how much you guys will be able to hear it. There. So anyway, not exactly sure where I'm starting with this tonight. I figured I'm going to paint the background first. I'm a little under the weather. No, not painting a real turtle, although I have a couple snapping turtle shells hanging here. No, I re-irritated my rotator cuff, so I haven't been able to move my arm very much, and I still got to work tonight, so gonna try to be fueled by Bob Ross tonight. You know, we got to have these with Bob Ross. It's just not the same without. So I'll get that open. I already took pain medication, and it's not helping. So I'll take something a little stronger when I get home tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, it's not been fun. I still worked out, but it was only bicycling today, and it was on the stationary, so I didn't have to use this arm, but it's really, really bugging me. I can move it a little bit, but not. When I got up, I couldn't at all, so I had to have assistance getting dressed. I'm going to have assistance getting ready for work. loads of fun. So what I'm going to be working on is this old piece of balsa wood that I bought. I think I've been sitting on this thing since 92 or 93. And it was from Michael's. And why I bought this, I don't know. I paid 15 bucks for this stupid piece of wood. And what I was going to do was do background painting and then do three-dimensional work with paper angels. You know, still kind of about the time that I thought I was still going to be Catholic or something, you know. Just never did it. And since this turtle request is from a friend, I figured I'm going to utilize this bugger. It's walnut hollow basswood tray, and I'm not even going to sand it down because some of it I want the texture of the wood in there. It's got a little bit of texture in it, but not too bad. I could make it baby bottom smooth, and I'm sure my wood shop teacher would be yelling at me for not making this baby bottom smooth, but yeah. Work, I had last night off. I worked tonight. And I'm going to try to work with a torn rotator. It's going to be loads of fun. And some of the things, I forgot where I had gotten these. These were $1. And actually there was a store called Frank's Nursery and Crafts in Minnesota. And I think that's where I had gotten these from. And I actually have another pack yet. And so these are going to be kind of, you know, on the frame, because I'll be decorating the frame as well. Probably going to do it with like pearls and stuff like that. But for today, we're going to work on the center of it and get the turtle itself going. I also wanted to show you guys, except I'm a critical care nurse for little kids, you know, it's home care, but you know, they're all on life support and everything. So yeah, there'd be 2 children very upset if I didn't come back and take care of them, you know. That's what I do, and I get a lot of downtime at work, so I'm able to do a lot of stuff, but I wouldn't quit my job anytime soon. Not by choice, for sure. Anyway, I don't have everything in here, because we got a couple prints, this one guy's paintings of Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy, which was, hi Mandy, which was pretty cool. The guy's artwork was brilliant. That's in my video from GalaxyCon, and then there was one of Diva, but I had another artist that I went and got a couple of coloring books of hers, and I don't do coloring very often. It's mostly my own pieces, but Little Mermaids type stuff. Her stuff is just so incredibly sweet. And then this one was her pop manga one. But her work is just so cute, and I was like, yeah, I have to. Really, really have to. We spent most of our money on photos and meet and greets. Oh, one more thing. Yeah, I'm organized. Well, this was my original TARDIS backpack that I bought years ago. And it's not bigger on the inside than the outside. So they kind of lied on Amazon about it. That was the review I wrote. Well, maybe it's a little bit bigger, but not by much. I was like, I paid 30 bucks for this, and it was really small. But I still had this on and was carrying it around. But at GalaxyCon, I got one that's a little better. I was pretty happy. This one actually is it expands, and it's really big. So, yeah, police telephone free for use of public. Advice and assistance obtainable immediately. Officers and cars respond to all calls. Pull to open. And there it is. So yeah, those were a couple of souvenirs. Then we got a bunch of gaming dice and, you know, a bunch of D20s, and hubby got him a metal set of gaming dice and stuff. And got some handmade resin ones. And that's the thing I want to work on doing. Oh gosh, I bought that small one years ago, and I mean, it works and it's cute, but it's a kid's backpack, and I carried it with and had stuff in it. Oh yeah, throwing curveballs. I couldn't throw a ball for the life of me, Grampy, I swear. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I could give up my TARDIS backpacks, though, Mandy. I really don't know if I could. Love my TARDIS backpacks. Hubby. On the GalaxyCon video, the voice actor at the very beginning, Steve Bloom, has done voices from all sorts of stuff. Computer games, cartoons. He's the voice of Cowboy Bebop. Just done a ton of stuff. And he actually did not know about that glitch in Mass Effect where Grunt... Oh, the coloring book. Which one? The Mermaids or the other one? Because the sound was terrible. I'm gonna re-record it. I deleted the Freely one because I wasn't happy with the sound. I was trying to record it on my phone, and so the computer sounded like 9 miles away. You can hardly hear me. So, yeah, I'm redoing that. We'll see. Anyway, with Steve Blum, there's a glitch in Mass Effect where Grunt, the one Krogan that travels with you, usually will say, "I am Krogan," or something like that. Well, then there was another point where he says that something is worthless, except sometimes the game will glitch and it comes across as "I am worthless," and it just, he didn't know about that glitch was existing. YouTube ruined the comments and they moved it up to the top today? So they moved the video up in the feed even though it isn't there anymore? Because I completely deleted it. Oh, let me get this camera moving here. And by the way, up here, I don't know how well you can see it. There's one snapping turtle shell there, so yeah, I have some turtles. Let's get this down. I think this is the way I'm gonna wanna work on it, maybe? I wish I had a better way to do this, I really do. There we go, there's a spot. Yeah, the mango one is really adorable. Her artwork is, that gal's artwork is just so cute. That's really cute. Just love her stuff. I had a discount for buying both of them, so. All right, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do here. I want the turtle to be in the water. I mean, there'll be some of the bottom showing, but I'm not quite sure where I want to go. Move Bob Ross over. I'm spilling all over my desk. problem with energy drinks and a straw is that the bubbles will come back up through the straw and it's just a mess. Well, let's grab a little of the teal paint I got too. I have it. I might as well use it. I'm able to move a little bit. Comments have been moved. Okay, all right, Mandy. Have a good one. Let's do this. A little bit of the teal, so I'm just using the apple barrel ones today. Caribbean, which I had gotten for the teal pumpkin, and that worked out okay. I'm going to do a little bit of their Carolina blue as well. Oh, yeah, go cook dinner. That way your mom doesn't yell at you. Oh, wait, you're at home. You got your own house. I forgot about that. Mandy just got a house this year, so. All right, I'm also getting an ocean reef blue. And, let's get a little bit of slate gray, Americana. That's this one. If I can get it to come out of there. There it goes. All right. Mudbrooker. I'm not happy with YouTube's new update very much either, and they're also getting a little bit more on the snarky side too, I think, as far as really cracking down on the comments. If anyone follows Markiplier, he's a really nice guy. He's super nice guy. And his live streams are always gaming and stuff, and just really, really fun stuff that he normally does. And he'll sometimes do some serious stuff. He's had some serious conversations with his fans before and things, and always been super polite. And I mean, some of his videos, yeah, he'll swear, especially if he's doing a jump scare game or something. But general sweet person. Well, what happened is that some of his commenters got a little bit rude, I guess, in one of his streams. Or YouTube deemed that they were rude. And so what happened is they were using certain emojis that YouTube has now determined are harassment. And so YouTube banned 100 accounts right from his live stream, right on the spot. Now, they came back the next day because YouTube turned around and reinstated those 100 accounts. But it just caused no end of chaos. And so they're now cracking down on emoji use. They're cracking down on language. They're cracking down on a whole lot of stuff. And it's just, I don't get the direction that they're going. They're kind of, you know, they did say that they were going to have creators responsible for the viewers' comments. And yeah, it sounds like they're sticking with that one, I'll tell you. And I get a little bit of the satin multi-surface stuff from Target. Egg color. It's handmade modern acrylic paint. I'm going to throw some of that on there too. I forgot I needed some sort of white. Yeah. I just don't don't get it. I don't understand why they're going this route. It's utter insanity. Now, I don't care about the frame. That's going to be painted over later. This just looks kind of messy right now. It will make sense in the long run, I promise. Considering I'm doing this as directly under the water, I'm not too worried about having accurate details. So if you've seen some pictures of sea turtles under the water, some of these waters look so bright blue and everything, depending on the camera filters and the light that day and stuff. So that's what I'm kind of mimicking here. And I forgot how much wood soaks up paint. I'm gonna have to get some more paint on here. Yeah, kill the comments and save bandwidth and server space. Do you think that might be part of their problem, Mudbrooker? I just can't imagine. I just think that they're in so much financial hurt that they're doing everything to hang on to the few advertisers they got left. I really think this is all about the money, because their decisions are going way overboard. Which is why they've opened up all these, you know, large news networks and everything else to come in and show stuff on YouTube, and they're pushing their premium service so hard too. It's like every video I go to, do you want to turn on YouTube Premium for your free trial? No, I don't. Well, you can download videos. I can download videos with 4K downloader too. Don't care, and that's free. Probably gonna donate to it, but still, I don't have to pay for that one. Oh, they're doing that too? Oh, I suppose my account will end up being deleted, huh? I only have, what, how many subs? Oh, 1.13K. I have just a few more than Shani. My channel's pretty old. I just never, you know, it's a hobby, and they're kind of trying to take away from hobbyists, but you know, if they decided to ever delete my channel or take away some of my capabilities, then I will just go over to Twitch fully. I just haven't figured out how to dual stream. That's one thing I want to do with the Minecraft is dual stream. But I don't know how to do that. Do Twitch streams and then back them up on the YouTube channel would be nice. But, oh, we'll see. I'm supposed to have Tuesdays and Wednesdays off, but I'm working tonight because I picked up. Because I'm actually off Friday and Saturday again, and that wasn't by choice. Family's going out of town, so my shifts are canceled. So I'm going to get stuff done around the house and get stuff up on Etsy. And probably do some more live streaming is the plan. take advantage of it while I can. There we go. So, yeah, we have a blue plate, everybody. Yeah, I do too. I get paid every 2 weeks. Right, that's what I wanted to do, like that. So let's switch brushes. Delving into the grays, and I've never done an ocean bottom before, so we'll see. We'll see if I can pull this off. Well, this would be more coral reef type stuff right here. There's Etsy's ads on TV now. It depends. Now our house has a large master bedroom and a mostly finished basement and 2 main floor bedrooms and 2 bath and a half. There's 1 bathroom in the basement. And we're paying $1,300 a month. Oh, Mudbrooker. Sometimes it is, yeah. But I'm paying $1,300 a month, and I'm not in the best area. I think it was like, I think we'd been here like just a couple of years. And, I used to sidewalk paint all the time, which I haven't been because I'd been so busy this summer that I didn't get to. But, I'd just be out there with the sidewalk chalk and just do fancy artwork on the sidewalk just for giggles and stuff. And the rain washes it away. Well, then somebody went and spray painted whites, and I'm not going to say the whole word, dye whites, stuff like that. I'm in, other than my street, I mean, there's a few houses on my street that are not white, but other than that, we're in a poor area in Minneapolis, and there is a higher concentration of immigrants and darker skinned people and stuff. And I mean, we've got a lot of nice people in the neighborhood too, but the people that we suspect had done this weren't so great, and they were from Chicago, and they're not here anymore, so we don't have that going on anymore, thankfully. So it was like one particular family, but we're like in this little itty bitty section of the city map. If you look at the crime map, it's like this big eyeball of crime all the way around us, and it's like it's not a good area. And it's kind of sad though too, because we have a lot of homeless around here, and it's like you can only do so much help for these people, and it's mixed feelings. I know a lot of people around here because if I go out for walks and stuff, I say hi to everybody. I had one guy with medical issues that insisted on praying to Jesus for me right in the middle of the street just because I was out for a walk. Like, okay, yeah, this is fun. Evangelical. And it's like, yeah, okay. I'm, I'll just sit here and, yeah. Like, what do you do, you know? So yeah, we've got kind of a high housing price in a lower income, lower quality area. Like we have a bit of a food desert where we're at. The convenience stores are getting kind of hit really hard by the city, the ordinances that they've put in, so convenience stores are closing. We have a grocery store that did move in that they're charging so much. They're trying to carry all this healthy stuff and they're charging so much for it that most of the time their shelves are pretty empty. Because there's also cultural differences when you have you're trying to push people to eat a healthier diet, but they've actually found that, like with some of the black culture and stuff, that American black culture, I should say, that they see a lot of times will see healthy food as white people food, and they've actually quoted this in articles, so I'm not making this up. And so this store that's out here tried to open up and is trying to sell all this healthy food and stuff, and I think they end up throwing more stuff out, but like $5 for a little dinky thing of cottage cheese. And it's like, are you serious? Nobody wants to pay that around here. This is not a wealthy neighborhood, and they're charging wealthy neighborhood prices. So once in a while, people will walk over there to get milk and stuff, but that's all you're going to get for sales. It's utterly ridiculous. Whoever set up that store wasn't thinking. The city's been really, really nasty to convenience stores. They're putting in all these hideous regulations, and the stores just can't keep up. They're having to remodel because of ordinances and regulation changes, and then the city backs down on doing this and doing that, and they've taken out these big loans for remodeling, and then they have to remodel again, and then they have to carry something else, and then they have more licensing, and then the city advises them, well, just remodel. And yeah, it goes terrible. Supposedly anything healthy, according to this article, and it was about treating diabetes, and supposedly stuff that is healthy is they will deem as white people food. So trying to get them to eat more vegetables and to cut back on fried foods and stuff is white people food. I don't know. I forgot where that article came from, but it's a real thing. Because there is a cultural difference, It's like I know people from Africa who will not eat things like Jell-O and quinoa and stuff like that because culturally that's not something they do. So, and they're direct immigrants. So it all depends on the locale and how many people are immigrants and stuff like that as far as what's going to be able to be sold in that area. You can, by principle, make a store successful in any area that you're in. But you just got to make sure that you cater to that particular clientele that you're going to find as most of them are out there. fake coral put in here. I can't afford to move somewhere else is the problem. Because, I mean, we're renting, so you have to have first and last month's down right away. My finances are bad enough that I can't afford to get a mortgage. And so you got to have first and last months. And, you know, with all their credit checks and everything else, a lot of them won't allow it. And the ones that do it, like moving to this house from the house that we used to live in, it costed us almost $5,000 to move. And considering that there's a lot of times my husband has trouble driving for Lyft, let alone walking, our finances are never really great. And I'm still playing catch up on things like my student loans and stuff. My student loan payments are almost $600 a month. And the reasoning for a lot of that was because with my divorce that I was in, I was paying $1,500 a month child support on shared legal and physical custody. So every time there was a child support hearing, my ex would lose a job conveniently. And so that took its toll for a lot of years. And then to have my surgery last year and lose a job over the weightlifting restriction that I have now and stuff that's permanent. And I mean, it catches up with you after a while. So here I am. But I have a really nice landlord. I can't complain about him at all. Decent guy. And he was even at our wedding. Fixes things right away if there's a problem, so that's not an issue at all. Just really nice person. And I've had some landlords who are not, so, you know, I'll take what I can get. There's, you know, you try to find a positive in everything, so. There we go. All right, so for a bit, that's got to dry. He's doing okay. He's going to be working tonight. He's not having as bad a high pain day as he usually does. I'm the one that's in a little rougher shape today. All right. I'm going to look at... Yeah, okay. Oh. Okay. Sorry, I had to try and move my arm, and that was not fun. Off this brush. While that ends up drying, I might be able to just turn around and work on the little add-ons that I'm going to put in on the frame. We want to have it look like there's little bits of waves up at the surface up here, and then I accidentally did that, but yeah, make do. It was a happy accident. There we go. Can't put happy little trees in it. Sorry, Bob, no trees in this painting. All right. There. Okay. Schools are not great around here. In general, in Minneapolis, the city overall, there's a couple really good schools, but there are also private. Public schools are not the best. And that's kind of an ongoing problem with any inner city area. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit more. I want to have a little more white coming down. Well, that was a bit much, but we'll fix that. Blend that out. It's all going to be behind the turtle anyway. It was kind of inspiring at GalaxyCon to see some of the other artists and stuff, and in some ways it kind of had me sad too, because I'm nowhere near the quality that you know, so a lot of these comic book artists are. I'm not like that at all, but it was kind of nice just to see what was out there. One guy, and I forgot his name, but he did his horses like old Frederick Remington paintings. They were just gorgeous. And it was on the cover of his comic books that he was self-publishing. And like this lady that I picked up the coloring books from, I want to know what... Yeah, her name is Camilla de Errigal. And I want to know what company she, you know, how she went about getting those printed like that, because I do have comic or coloring book designs that I've done that I want to get in a book form like those. Oh, thank you, Nebulana. Let's get a little more teal this way. I don't want to take teal out completely. There. Now I'm getting it blended back in the way I want it. A little bit more white. There we go. Okay. I'll let that dry. So far, that's what we've got for just the ocean bottom. I think it looks pretty decent. Yeah, there were some comic book artists, though, that did realistic portrait art that just... Oh my gosh, it just made me lose myself, you know, just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And it's like, I always wanted to be a portrait artist, and just, no, I'm not anywhere near like that. I have a little too much fantasy and a little too much distortion in my work. My proportions are always a little bit off when it comes to doing people. And I find that extremely frustrating, so I just need to practice more on people, basically. I also saved these pieces of this cardboard that's like this, because this is great for doing, like, different textural details on packaging or whatever else. So, what am I going to do with this seahorse here? I want the detail, the realistic detail, to be in the painting. Yeah, here's a previous sea turtle that I did. I'm trying to look in the camera here. That one was kind of fun. No, I don't have a lobster in that set, and if I would have, I'd save it for Grampy, too. It definitely needed a lobster. But I bought that set probably like 10 or 15 years ago, so I don't know. But I have a bunch of these little pearlized, you know, partial things that I use for the face painting bling that I make. And so I think these, I'm gonna maybe do some of them on the frame. I don't know yet. We'll see. The more I look at them, the more cheesy they look. Maybe if I do like agates and rocks and stuff around it or something. So you have a nice fresh ocean smell about you right now, Sadie. I know that Bob Ross stuff tastes good. I haven't had any since the last live stream. That tastes pretty good. Oh, okay. Moved my arm wrong. Stop doing that. Okay, I think we're gonna do the starfish first. So I am using the Handmade Modern from Target. I'm using their driftwood color. The only reason I can afford like the white people food is because I buy the cheap white people food, like the beans and the rice and stuff like that, you know. You know, I still don't understand, but you know, it's cultural. What do? You know, makes trying to get people healthier harder. Yeah, I don't even know how I re-injured my rotator cuff. No clue. Okay, I also have terracotta colored Americana paint. I'm gonna use that. Yeah, I might do this whole frame in rocks. I don't know. Glue rocks on there would be interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get in as a seller at, you know, sell chainmail and my needle felting at GalaxyCon next year, because they did confirm they're gonna do it again next year. So I'm pretty stoked about that. It was so funny. Steve Bloom was late coming back to his booth. And we almost left because hubby was hurting that bad. But I convinced him to stay, so that's when we got the voice recording. But Steve Bloom was late back to his booth because he was in line waiting for George Takei. And we didn't get to see George Takei, unfortunately. But it's so funny to watch, you know, people that you're kind of fanning over that have their people that they fan over too, you know. It was just really cool. And then, oh my God, Michelle Nichols. Uhura. The original Uhura. She was there. And we didn't get to see her. But there was one lady in my GalaxyCon video that was dressed as Uhura, and she had her costume pretty spot on and really looked the part. Well, I saw her walking. We're still waiting for Steve Bloom. All of a sudden she comes back. She's on the phone bawling her eyes out, and I thought, oh my God, did somebody die? What happened? You know, she was just in such tears. It was unbelievable. No, I could probably do Curvy Con, knowing me. I have enough of them. But this gal was just crying so hard, and I'm like, oh my God, this is bad. And then she's talking to somebody else, and the guy with her is smiling, and I'm like, what the heck? And nosy me, I came over and asked her, and she's like, Michelle Nichols had seen her, and she was near the booth, but she was just taking a peek. She wasn't signed up to get autographs or anything. Michelle Nichols pulled her behind, had her go behind the booth with her and take selfies and gave her an autographed photo. Because she looked just like Michelle did in the original Star Trek series. The cosplay was that good. She had the tricorder, she had everything. And that gal was just in so many tears. It was something else. And poor Walter Koenig was sitting there by himself. And we're like, at some point, we still had money left over, so we went over to go and get a selfie with Walter Koenig, which his assistant took a blurry photos on my phone. And I wasn't happy about that. But oh my gosh, he's such a sweet guy. Oh, wow. He's such a sweetheart. Just absolutely love him. And I was fangirling so bad. If you look at the photo, I looked like I was almost in tears. That's because I was almost in tears. And at one point after the pictures, I was crying. Because it's like, he was, it seemed pretty excited that he had somebody fangirling over him. I was like, oh, holy smokes. It's Walter Koenig. It's Chekhov. And he's just so quiet, and he's so tiny. For the picture, I had to bend down a little bit to be equal height with him. He's that small. And it's like, he's just this little guy, and he's so sweet. I was like, oh my gosh, it was the best thing ever. I guess Shatner was a bit of a turd. He wouldn't come up front when he was giving signed autographs. The person would have to pay for the autograph, and then the assistant would take it to a table in the back where Shatner was sitting, where he wasn't too close to all the fans, and he would sign the thing, and then the assistant would bring it back up. And it was like, Shatner was one of them that I wanted to meet. But, you know, because he reminds me of my stepdad a lot. He looks like him for sure. But, no, he's got a tood. And it's like, no. I just, that was not a happy thing. But George Takei was actually a bit more popular than Shatner is. It's funny. I did. I think, I'm 5 foot, so I think that Walter is, he might be 4'11" or 4'10". He's just short. But he's so sweet, I just wanted to wrap him up and take him home. He's just such a sweetheart. I just love him. Oh, and then meeting Mike Coulter from Luke Cage. That's another one that had me just about in tears. I was just fangirling so bad. And he stuck around. He didn't go take a break. He stuck around because there were still so many people wanting to see him. And since we were still waiting for Steve Bloom right next to Mike's booth, you know, at first I was like, well, could you get us in before you go on break really quick? Because Troy was starting to break down. And he was going to do that. And then other people kind of stepped in instead as soon as they figured that out. And then I kept trying to say, no, just go take your break. It looks like we're still going to be here a bit longer. And he still stayed. He still did the pictures and everything. And then the people running GalaxyCon had to come and relieve him. But such a super nice guy. Oh my gosh. And yeah, he is that tall, he is that dark, he is that handsome. Oh my gosh, it was just so fun. Then another one I met, and I didn't get pictures with him. If you've seen The Walking Dead season 8, where they have the skinwalkers, the people that wear the skins of the zombies. And there's this hunter on there, this guy from the skinwalkers, that he's super tall and creepy. And he'll go and hunt down others and stuff, and he does all the dirty work for Alpha, for the leader of the skinwalkers. He was there, right next to Steve Bloom's booth on the other side. And oh, he is handsome. Oh my goodness. He's got this bad boy, long-haired biker thing going, just like, oh my gosh, he was a good-looking guy. And just talked to him really briefly. That was a lot of fun, though. Oh my gosh. And Chris Eccleston is so nice. And the photo does not belay the man is very handsome. He is. You see him in his roles and stuff, and he, you know, some of it must be makeup because they kind of downplay how good looking the man is. And he's really nice too. So all in all, it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. It was so fun. There we go. I think we got that starfish texture in there pretty good. Now let's think about the shell here. I have some. I don't want to go with blues on it though, because that's going to blend in with the water if I do that. And let's get this Heritage brick color from Americana again. And some more of the Homemade Modern. I'm going to get the Shimmer Aqua acrylic. I have the brush cleaning towel on my lap right now. Not too much of it. I have 2 shells here, so I don't know if I'll use it for both or not. Okay. Now some of the other souvenirs I bought, like I got this made out of sari fabrics, this silk wraparound skirt with a whole ton of snaps, so it adjusts to pretty much any, well, up to XL, not any bigger than I am. But multiple layers of all these silks, and I have other silk skirts from India that were handmade with sari fabrics, and so that one I can just wear right over top and mix the colors and stuff. So I got that, and yeah, we spent a bit of money. I wasn't planning on spending that much. I could have gone in with $1,000 for just pictures, and I wouldn't have had enough. I mean, it was just that insane. I might have have to, I don't know if Mandy's still listening, but her mom wanted to ask for me to paint a sea turtle, so that's where this is coming from. Amanda that was on earlier. I know she said she had to put her phone down, so I didn't know if she was still listening or not. I used to have it, my ex-sister-in-law, one time I made her this real pretty dream catcher and handmade this angel doll for it and everything. And my ex-sister-in-law said that handcrafted Christmas gifts were just cheap, and I'm like, do you know how much time I put into this thing? You know, but I don't hear that very often anymore. Thankfully. That was so many years ago, though. I was like, oh, I thought it was nice what I made back then, but, you know, clearly not. Okay, I'm going to tack a little brown or the reddish here. More reddish. Hi, Junker. Oh, yeah. Embarrassing real life moments. That was the truth, though. Although I forgot to add that I had half a wine cooler about that point. I'm a really lightweight. And so I think some of my bravado might have been fueled by a little bit of that wine cooler. But I had one of the house cats was outside, so I thought she, you know, why I thought, oh, something must have happened to the cat. Let's go outside at 2 o'clock in the morning in the dark in the middle of the North Woods. No, nothing can go wrong. What can go wrong? You might encounter a cougar. And for those in chat who haven't seen that one, I had decided, you know, I was wearing nothing but a t-shirt, and I slipped on cowboy boots to go outside and see what was going on. So, and I had this big mag flashlight. Well, the battery died on the flashlight just as I get outside and shine it on this thing that's out there that by this point is making big huffing noises at me. Yeah, I went out there, grabbed the big, you know, there was this huge flashlight, grabbed that, and then went over to the garage and grabbed the pitchfork that was out there, and in just a long t-shirt and boots and a pitchfork and a flashlight, I come around the side of the house. We have this big bay window in the living room, so I come around the side where this window is, shine the flashlight, see something big and brown that's going and I could see, I mean, we're talking that this was not a deer, not that big, And before the flashlight died, I saw this massive cat. Yes, the flashlight died. This thing's mad at this point and is still doing the huffing. Okay, which they will do when they're mad. So the only thing I could think of was to hold the pitchfork up above my head sideways and jump up and down and yell like Xena. Which not only scared that cougar, but whatever else was in the woods too. Everything took off like a shot. So yeah, the half a wine cooler might have helped. But I was like, oh crap, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, well, we'll do this. Yeah. Yeah, things that you think, hey, what can go wrong? So I've had my what can go wrong moment. Not one of my brighter days, I'll tell you. Yeah, Minnesota's really cold. It's cold right now. And it's only November. And we got snow here in Minneapolis today, so yay. I wasn't ready for snow. Not mentally. Physically, actually, yes. I have the shovels handy and everything, but no, I'm not mentally ready for snow. But it's here. And it can get really bad. The 1 year, now there's a lot of houses where I am and stuff. You know, it is a city block, but the 1 year, 6 city plows got stuck on my street at the same time. We're talking the big plows were stuck. And so was a van at the end of the street, and I mean, it was bad. So I have a video of that, which was funny because I had some commenter on my video going, oh, you're just butthurt that your street didn't get plowed. You didn't clearly watch the video to see why I filmed plows on the street? But we have the Mississippi River nearby too. So there's been times that I've seen really interesting things, like for a long time we had Floyd the possum that would come and swipe things out of my garden. And when my son was still living with us, he came in, Mom, there's a possum in the garden. And I went, no, there's not a possum. Oh yeah, there was a possum. We named it Floyd. And Floyd was around for a number of years. And we had one of the neighbor kids behind us who was kind of a little turkey, I'll say, decided to tease Floyd the possum. Floyd was having none of it. Floyd chased this kid down across the alley and into his yard. I'm like, I didn't know possums could get that angry. Oh, it's funny. You probably don't want to, well, not eat the snow in the city, trust me. Not as bad out in the middle of nowhere, but especially where I'm at. Like, I'm going to have to do some serious work this coming year to repair my garden. Probably the year after that, too. Because of the heavy metals and the lead exposure that we got from Northern Metals, that's less than a mile from us. And while my husband wasn't eating a lot of the things that we were growing, I was. And so a lot of the symptoms that I'd been having are that will mimic rheumatoid arthritis are actually lead poisoning. So this coming year I have to grow a whole bunch of greens, and I have to grow sunflowers. And then we're going to have to take all that material, pull it out, and trash it. And what the leafy greens and stuff will do is they pull the heavy metals out of the soil, and it's really concentrated in them. Well, guess what I was eating? You know, kale and stuff like that. Yeah. So that kind of sucked. So not too happy about that. So I don't know how long it's going to take for my body to readjust, if there's been any permanent damage or not. Don't know. I eat a mixed diet. Yeah, bears are huge. I don't know if you, Junker, you know where Highway 53 is? I saw a moose had taken out a semi. The moose was dead, so was the semi. The semi was going nowhere anytime soon. Yeah, but Sadie, my big issue, of course, isn't the oxalates, it's the heavy metals. Because what Northern Metals did is they faked all the readings from their on the gauges of the pollutants that they were expelling into the atmosphere. And so they went and messed up all those readings. And then so they were kicking out like 3 or 4 times the amount of lead that they're supposed to. And we would have this haze in our neighborhood. And that's what it was from. It was all the heavy metals they were kicking out. So I've gotten exposed to quite a bit. So that's why I'm having issues. And I've been actually feeling a lot better since I stopped eating out of the garden. Because they were trying to close the plant, and the locals were actually trying to get the plant closed for years. And then they were supposed to have it closed back in May, I think. And then what happened is that the officials from Northern Metals did their whining and crying and said it would take time. And they had to go through this litigation and everything. So it took quite a while. It wasn't until middle of September when they finally got shut down. And that was because the judge had said that enough is enough. Because they still didn't want to close until all the litigation was completed, which would have been another 5 or 6 years. And the judge is like, no, you're shutting down now. So we've actually been breathing, because we were not only getting this through the soil, we're getting this in the air we're breathing too. So I was not only ingesting the lead, but I was breathing it in. And so now we should be having clean air, thankfully. All right, you have a good night, Junker. Thank you for stopping in. Chronic lead poisoning can mimic rheumatoid arthritis. It can cause the pain in the joints. It can also mimic symptoms of fibromyalgia. So you're getting, you know, bouts of all over body pain. You can have skin issues like I've got. mimic eczema and psoriasis or make them a lot worse. Then there's the melees, the extreme tiredness. There's the weakening immune system, so you're getting sick easier. I mean, it is just nasty. I don't know. Yeah, I could. Who needs an apron? I've already had the lead. No, then, well, the last time they went and I had to have the x-rays on my wrists and they were going to put the apron on me. And they're like, here, yeah, we have to protect your reproductive organs. And I started laughing and the tech is going, what? And I said, I don't have any. Oh. Had them all taken out. Yeah, but anyway, since I've been eating out of that garden for the last 4 years, and we've lived here now over 5, I think. Don't know how long I've had the exposure to the lead. And to whatever other metals were in the air. And the ground, of course. And that's the thing, you know, some of these people try to blame just the diet, and we can't blame just the diet. There's so many other factors. Unless you're out living in the middle of the woods someplace, in the middle of nowhere, you're going to have exposure to things. And they're finding like autism, there's a lot more dealing with exposure to pollutants that the mother has the exposure to. And the child will have exposure, and then they're also finding that a lot of the baby foods, the starter foods and stuff, a lot of them use rice. So what you're getting is the arsenic concentration from the rice in like baby rice cereal. Some of like the yogurt that they'll have in the little jars and stuff has rice in it. A lot of that stuff will have rice because it's generally non-allergenic. But they can't get the arsenic out of it. And they can't get some of the other pollutants that rice absorbs out. So they're thinking that the reason why it's so many years and then all of a sudden children start displaying signs of autism isn't vaccines at all, because vaccines, it's already been proven there's no correlation even, and there's definitely no causation to it. But they're thinking now it might be the baby food and the exposure to the toxins in the environment and what's being ingested. So we'll see where the studies lead on that. All right, Mr. Seahorse. What do I do with Mr. Seahorse? I wasn't going to go too much blues, and I ended up doing that anyway. All I should have done is have the inside of that shell showing, but they didn't do that on that carving. Thinking maybe doing a little bit more yellows in with him, and maybe some green. Sorry, trying to reach into my bag. I don't know about that one, Sadie. Let's see. Brain fart. Yeah, it would. Yeah, that's why they don't advise to eat a lot of it. Oh, just a second. I'm trying to breathe through the shoulder pain that I just caused. That hurt. Wait on the seahorse. This feels like it's dry. Yeah, I wanted to do the sea turtle from the side. Have him maybe coming down like this, I think. Boy, that hurt. Oh, wow. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take a moment here. And they said mostly, from what I've looked at online, if they don't do surgery, it's mainly painkillers and then eventually physical therapy, which is what I did when I tore my right rotator cuff. But on the left side, I also have AC injury from before, so it might have aggravated that. But the right one, I rehabilitated myself. But it's getting through this acute phase of pain is a real pain in the butt. All right, how do I want to do the turtle, the turtle, the turtle? What did I do with my towel? Oh, if I have to reach for my towel, I'm not going to be happy. Oh, there it is. All right. So I'm just going to outline. Yeah, I already took ibuprofen, so I can't take anything strong until I get home from work in the morning. Well, let's hope that I don't screw this up. I'm just doing an outline. And bumping the cord on the phone. There, it's starting to settle down a bit. Boy, that hurt. That was nasty. Good old Renaissance music. Just gonna get this outline going in here. I was playing EVE Online earlier and got my workout in already. Just have to change my clothes. I took my bath earlier, so I can sit here and paint for a while. And I don't know what I'm going to live stream on Friday yet. If I'll delve into Minecraft or not, but I'm home, I'm off. So it's like, why not? That way. Yeah, some of the turtles will have more shapes in their shells. This one doesn't seem to. The one that I'm going off of. I may change that. I'm gonna give a little bit more interest, I think, but that'll be okay. Yeah, the interface has taken me a bit to get used to. I played years ago and then hubby and I stopped. But like, his character just had its 12th anniversary, I think. I'm not sure. We quit for a few years and my son started playing again and we're like, oh hey, let's we're just gonna start joining in. And I've been having fun. Go in here. Poor turtle's got to be able to see. Little wrinkly. He's taking shape. No lobsters today. And at least make sure I have enough of an outline so I can see what I'm doing when I paint it into this figure, so. Yeah, where is that button? What do pagans do? Yeah, I've watched a couple of her recent ones. I'll comment on that in a minute. It's pretty much just a generalized blanket term for people who do not follow the Middle Eastern religions. I'm gonna have to adjust this. That's why I'm painting over it. And it varies. I mean, there's druids. There's people who follow voodoo. There's people who follow Celtic practices. It varies person to person. There's some that are very much into following Wicca, following stuff by Gerald Gardner or Alexandrian traditions. So in Wicca alone, there's a whole bunch of different things there. I had started out as Wiccan, but I've kind of drifted a little bit away from it. But it's really hard to say what pagans do in general, because Aaron Ra likes to say that atheists are like trying to herd a bunch of cats. Pagans are a giant box full of kittens and glitter balls. We are lots and lots of chaos to be had. Other foot up there because he's swimming downward. And I think we're going to get the other fin over here. Now, as far as Life by Jen, I don't know. I am too where I feel almost uncomfortable commenting about the stuff that she's put up recently, because I mean, she's doing her own thing and good on her for that, you know, but I don't know. The boyfriend situation, I mean, if they seem if they're happy with each other, you know, that's good, and as long as they're taking care of each other. But she's food addicted and he's alcohol addicted, and I know psychiatrists and stuff advise you don't get one addict in a relationship with another addict, you know, so I don't know. We're not in their house. It's hard to see what's going on. And Jen seems nice enough. I mean, I think she's really trying. Trying to get a little more shape here. But, you know, I hadn't watched her for quite a while either, so I'm really behind on her videos. So, but she's definitely a lot nicer person than Foodie Booty and Amberlynn can be, so. Yeah, that's it too. Oh, thank you, Sadie. Yeah, I'm kind of, yeah, I do hope that it works out with her. She deserves it. You know, she's in a very hard situation being that heavy, and, you know, yeah, it is hard for her to have a relationship, you know, at her weight, because most people don't want to unless they have a fetish about it. So the fact that she's found somebody and they've known each other for 4 years and stuff, I'd say good on her on that one, you know. And she said straight out she doesn't want somebody who's into the fetish of it. So, you know, she's found somebody, and that's good. And she is an adult, you know, so she's gonna make her own decisions. But I think part of what made me uncomfortable is, yeah, she's putting stuff online. You know, she's putting it out there. I get that. But it almost feels like sometimes people can be prying a bit too much. And I mean, people in the public eye go through this all the time. I mean, people can get to the point where they live for that star or for that person, you know. And it does happen being out in exposed like that all the time. And yeah, those of us on YouTube that have put our stuff out there, we've put our stuff out there, we've put our lives out there, and she's done the same thing. But the reaction that she's gotten from some of her commenters and stuff, they've gone a bit too far into it. I'm trying to formulate the words. They've become too invested in it and in what's going on. And so I can see where she's coming from on that. And that was the part that made me very uncomfortable about the whole thing, is that people are delving too much into her private life. And even a person who is in the public eye does need to have a little bit of privacy and a little bit of security, you know, even though their life is out there. And it's to the point of overstepping the bounds. Oh, Sadie, I'm not a fan of my body either, trust me. Ah, Laura, there she is. Hi. Laura Cliff Jumper. That's how we have to determine you or my daughter Laura. No, Sadie, I'm the same way about my body. I used to be, when I was showing horses, I used to be, you know, 110 pounds soaking wet, and I was solid muscle. I actually did not have enough body fat on me. But it's like, you know, I've gotten older, I've had kids, I did dietary mistakes, and some of it was to kind of keep my ex away from me too. I put on a lot of weight as a shield. This is what I've learned about myself over the years. And now I'm paying for it. And yeah, I don't like the look of my body. I don't like how my body feels, especially right now with the rotator. Is just, the pain is really bad. I know. But that's kind of become your last name in our house, just so we can tell which Laura we're talking about. Oh God, I've been just as bad, Laura. I have not been very good with sticking to any sort of diet at all, but today I got an hour of bicycling in, and I can't use the Gazelle Freestyle until my shoulder gets better. And so I'm not going to get below 200 pounds if I don't start knuckling under and doing what I need to be doing. And unfortunately, I've been too much into the snacking and eating crap, you know, stuff. I mean, well, not necessarily crap, but like GalaxyCon, yeah, we went walking all over the place and had a good time and stuff. But then we had Taco Bell later, you know, and then I got so frustrated because of just having to keep track of everything, and I've been keeping track of all my food and everything, that I stopped entering into Fitness Pal for a few days because I had enough, you know, and it's like I feel like my brain is trying to fight with me sometimes. Hey, Blue. Yeah, I think I did it again. Oh, yeah, that's it. I'm gonna make a veggie pizza again later on, and I measure out everything that's on it, and after the live stream I'm gonna make that before I go to work. Yeah, but Blue, I don't know what I did to my shoulder again, and it's the side that I have the AC damage on too, so it's really bad right now. And it was sore last week, but today it got so much worse that for a while I couldn't even raise my arm. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to. I'm trying to avoid incurring more medical costs, unfortunately. I owe a lot of money now, especially after the surgery and everything. The insurance pays only so much, you know. And I mean, I have a major tear in my right, but I was able to rehabilitate that and do the therapy on my own. And so, but I had to get past the point of the acute pain. And so, since this feels like it's fairly recent, I'm probably just going to have to get past the acute pain. And I have Friday and Saturday off, so I'm going to take some stronger pain medication and knock myself out. Yeah. Yeah, this feels like the rotator tear did on the right side. And of course, you know, the pain's spreading and affecting my neck. But it's not involving my neck. I can tell that much. Because one thing we do know is I have 4 bulging discs, C1 through C4, in my neck. So C1 is the disc that the skull is sitting on. That one is bulging out, and then I have compression fractures down my neck. And they said from too many years in the saddle, and I never got my back looked at. So I don't know how far that damage goes down my back. But this isn't related to that. My neck actually feels fairly fine except for the acute pain from the shoulder right now. So I should be painting more, and I'm sitting here talking to you guys, but I'm having fun. I got quite a bit done in just a little while. Oh, now I have an hour to go yet. That's fantastic. I mean, you know, we get older and stuff happens, you know. And I don't know, overall, I'm pretty satisfied with my life. I'm in a good marriage. I mean, both of us have medical issues and stuff. But I'm with somebody that we love each other very much, and my kids are doing great. And, you know, I never wanted kids. I never thought I was going to have kids. Life changed. And they're fantastic and the loves of my life, and I take care of little kids that are just fantastic, and I love them. And, you know, we get our bills paid. Not all of them on time. It happens. But my time, like in high school, yeah, I physically was in a lot better shape than I am now, probably. But there was a lot of other stuff going on that I don't ever want to go through again. So life has been up and down. Well, he ended up moving, my son ended up moving back to Minnesota. And he has 1 semester of his 4-year degree left, but his father took a whole bunch of money from him, and so he couldn't afford to finish his schooling. He owes a whole bunch to the college in North Dakota. He's going to get that paid down and then go back again. is his plan. But right now, he's working for a security company and he's doing pretty good. So, and in the summer he goes back and he'll be working at the airport again, and repairing planes and stuff. And then that's how he pays for his flight lessons. He still wants to get his commercial license, so that's gonna be his goal. Because then he can pay for the rest of it and go back and get his aeronautics and his aerospace. Yeah. And his girlfriend is a professional massage therapist, and they've been together for years and years and years. And then my daughter's working for an engineering firm, and she's doing pretty good. She's dating a paramedic, I found out. Not a nurse, a paramedic. And which is still fine. We're keeping some medical in the family somewhere. But those two are together all the time, and it's like, I can't wait to meet her girlfriend. I'm pretty excited. It's gonna have to happen at some point, you know. And that's what I'm doing too, Sadie. And I agree, Laura. It's just we just have to keep getting back on track and just do it, you know. And I should practice what I preach. It's just, I get so frustrated with myself. Oh, for cool, Celestial Rogue. Welcome aboard. I don't know if I'd want to go to Australia. I'd be too afraid of spiders and things. My mom retired as a nurse when she was 76. She's 82 now. My stepdad is a first responder, or was a first responder for the town fire department. But otherwise, he worked for an engineering company. And before that, he was a lead mechanic for semis for Ryder Truck Rental for years and years and years. Regional head mechanic. And then my blood father was an engineer for Univac and Unisys. And that was after he and my mom met. He was, I'm not sure if he was a nurse or a nursing assistant at the Mayo Clinic when he and my mom met. My sister is a nurse. She's got her 4-year RN degree. I'm the black sheep with only the 2-year RN, but I've also been an RN since '96. And I was a PCA for 5 years before that. So I was working as a phlebotomist and EKG tech at one of the local hospitals. And then I was a nursing assistant in nursing homes for still the full 5 years. Holding down 2 jobs too often, I swear. My grandmother was a teacher until everything all went to crap in Germany. And so she was an interpreter and a they found out on the History Channel, they had listed her as one of the personal advisors to Adolf Hitler, and then Governor Mark Dayton had found out that she was smuggling Jews out of Germany right under Hitler's nose. And so she wasn't into the medical. I think one of my great aunts was. And my uncle Manfred was a military pilot, and he's retired. Oh, wow. Nice, Laura. I'm going to have to watch that. I still haven't downloaded yours, Blue. I can't afford to pay for that service to download it. And I need to. Either that or you're going to have to put it up on, like, Google Docs or something, and I can download it from there, because I want your music in. Now, here's one of the models that I want to do, Laura. Not train, but a griffin. This one is a plastic model. It was like $5. D&D Nolzer's Marvelous Miniatures, and they sell them all for like $5, so you can get dragons and get all sorts of cool stuff. Oh, to play it, yeah. I want to actually download it, though, because I want to have it in my list. Oh, I don't need tears, Sadie. Oh, Laura. Oh, that's painful. Oh, that's just painful. Oh, where do I want to begin with this turtle? Well, let's get all the white laid down first. That's a bad dad joke. Actually, we're collecting bad dad jokes, so. My dad's doing a whole ton of them on Facebook, and it's like, oh, why? Why? They're painful. They hurt. They hurt. Oh, let's see. I will. What do we want to do with little guy here? Let's just fill in this shell because I'm doing one particular color variant of a turtle, more of an albino. So I'm gonna have to fill in his shell some more. Rid of my old lines here. Just having fun. It's a nice relaxed night tonight. She hasn't gotten it yet. She ended up getting sick and was in the ER last night. So, yeah. And when you have people with heart transplants, you know, they get sick. They really get sick. Oh, Laura! But, her parents saw the photos of it and they love it. So I'm pretty sure she's going to love it. So the canvas with the Eiffel Tower is not on my desk right now. It's over at the other table. Well, I can tell you, Laura, that I've shelled out enough that this little stupid board I'm painting on was $15. And then it was $1 for the wood pieces that are going to go on here. I'd say probably $5 for the rocks that are going to be edging this painting. And I maybe will have spent, like, in total for what I'm using, maybe $2 in paint. There. How's that? Hi, Julie. Yeah, and I have another kid that what they're doing now is they're just automatically vaccinating children against or young children against a disease called RSV and sort of rhinovirus or rotavirus, pardon me, and it is just absolutely nasty. This year it had killed a 10-year-old I used to take care of, and put him back on a ventilator and took him out. And they can only vaccinate up to 2 years old for this to prevent the real little ones from getting it. And the hard part is that there isn't a vaccine that works after that age, but they've been running into parents who will have their kids in daycare and stuff that don't want to vaccinate. And so this one spreads, and it is most of the time fatal. And so the one-year-old I know just got vaccinated for that. So I was pretty happy because it's like, I don't want to lose another kid to RSV if I can help it, but he doesn't go to daycare or anything either. RSV, let me look up the actual name of it. It is a virus. Even adults can carry it and get it. Human orthopneumovirus. No, that's not right. Okay, here we go. Respiratory syncytial virus. A virus respiratory syncytial virus. A virus causing respiratory disease. Let's see. Well, that doesn't help. It's a member of the species of human orthopneumovirus. Causes respiratory tract infections, major cause of lower respiratory tract infections, and hospital visits during infancy and childhood. So yeah, it's a nasty bugger. It can actually spread from the mother to the fetus. In the United States, 60% of infants are infected during their first HRSV season. Okay. And nearly all children will have been infected by the virus 2 to 3 years of age. 2 to 3% will develop bronchiolitis, requiring hospitalization. Natural infection induces protective immunity, which wanes over time more than other viral infections. And thus people can be infected multiple times. Young adults can be reinfected every 5 to 7 years with symptoms looking like a sinus infection or cold, and it's easy to spread to kids with lower immune systems. Incubation is 4 to 5 days, and for adults produces mainly mild symptoms, often indistinguishable from common colds and minor illnesses. The problem with this bugger is that, you know, especially in daycares, a lot of parents will not pay attention. This happens in schools too. They won't report that their kid has been sick, and they'll still send them to the school, and it spreads. Well, then if you have anybody who's got any sort of weakened immune system, that is going to, they'll get infected, but then they have a good chance of being hospitalized and dying from it. And so, yeah, anti-vaxxers drive me crazy, especially when, you know, I just lost somebody I had cared for from when he was an infant. For 6 years I cared for him. And it was really hard. And it was really hard watching his parents as devastated as they are still. And he passed away back in May. So the people don't understand the sincerity and the severity of these illnesses that they can vaccinate against. And in the case of RSV, I mean, it'll help them at the more critical times. Yeah, it's the background music is the free stuff that I've gotten off of YouTube. so that I don't have to deal with the copyright crap. And this is my old Minecraft music list. My new Minecraft list is on my other computer. And I'm going to have to take the stuff I downloaded and bring it over to this one. Yeah, Wakefield is a curse. And that man is a curse. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you think about it, I mean, my kids have both been vaccinated. Neither one of them's autistic or anything, you know. And then there's varying levels of autism, too. I mean, it's not all the same. I've cared for autistic kids that were on life support and had to have total cares because they can't function at all. You know? So everything can be on a varying scale. And most people, you know, are looking at high functioning autism and then trying to say that they're diseased or something like that. And then they're approaching it the wrong way in the first place. And some of it may be genetic as well, why autism carries. So sometimes I swear the pharmaceutical companies put out the anti-vax information or have been behind the anti-vax movement just so that people get sick from not being vaccinated, because there is a lot more money in treatment versus prevention. So, you know, that's my counter conspiracy theory. Yeah, we have better diagnostic tools now. Oh, where do I want to go with this thing? Yeah, I got vaccinated for, I don't know if I got vaccinated for mumps. And I was born in 67, but I know I had the mumps. I had it on both sides and I had to be tube fed. I couldn't swallow. Oh, yeah. Well, I've had I think my tetanus booster, last one was, yeah, I'm due for that too. I can't get the second shingles vaccination. I was supposed to get a booster, and I can't do that because it turned out I'm allergic to the shingles vaccine. It's really painful. The mumps is super painful. I remember that. I was so swollen that my neck was about double the size in the front. And it was up my cheeks and to my eyes and everything. I was bedridden for a couple of weeks. And my mother had to pretty much tube feed me. You know, just taking sometimes a tube, but other times she'd take a really large syringe and just try to get it into my mouth because I couldn't quite open my mouth enough to do anything, which she probably was pretty happy because I wasn't talking as much. Gotta have some humor about that. But yeah, it was incredibly painful, and then there was the fevers along with it, and just So much pain. I remember the pain more than anything else. And like I said, it was on both sides of my neck and my face, and it was awful. We did make jokes about me looking like one of the chipmunks, though, so gotta have some fun about that. But it could have been very fatal. You know, if my mom hadn't known what she knows, that could have killed me. But these people don't see that these diseases, we started vaccinating against them for a reason. And it wasn't to make money, it was to prevent people from dying, you know? Like, I love how they turn around and they say, well, polio didn't kill. Yeah, it did. And when it didn't, it would leave a lot of paralyzed people. Was it 15 years ago, I think, I took care of somebody who had polio as a child. And, you know, when I took care of him, he was on full life support. He couldn't even move a finger, let alone breathe. So, yeah, it's... These things, we developed these vaccines for a reason. And it just, anti-vaxxers just kind of drive me crazy. Just laying down a base right now. I'm going to have to do each individual, oh boy. Yeah. I had, when the chicken pox was going through the elementary school that I was in, we moved out to a different city. So I missed the run of chicken pox. Well, the city, the town that we moved to had already had its run of chicken pox. So I missed the run of chicken pox. Oh, my sister never got it either. So neither one of us had it. So when I was working for the dialysis company, I had to be tested every year for various diseases, and I told them I'd never been exposed to chicken pox, so they tested me for the varicella antibodies every year, and I didn't have any. So if there was a patient that, say, had shingles or anything else, I was not allowed to treat those patients. Well, then in the dialysis clinic, one of the day shift patients transferred to my night shift dialysis program, and the nurse did not communicate to me that he had an active shingles infection at the time. It wasn't documented anywhere, nothing. So here I am, and you know, you have gloves on and stuff, but not always when you're transferring. So I had come in contact with that, and luckily it didn't get me sick, but now I have antibodies. Well, you know, I kept getting the notifications from my hospital system that once I turned 50, I needed to get the shingles vaccine. And the old one they've been phasing out. They have a new one called Shingrix, which is supposed to be a lot better. And it's not a live vaccine now, except I developed a anaphylactic reaction to it. So yeah. Oh, that's the thing about polio too. They say it doesn't kill. Well, what kind of life has a kid got if they can't move their entire body afterwards? So they have to live in a lung machine or something like that. Okay, yeah, it didn't kill them. It took away their childhood. Wonderful. You know, these people drive me crazy. Oh, yeah. Oh, whooping cough is horrible. Yeah, Yeah, the polio will cause a lot of nerve damage. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, my mother did the same thing about various things with me. No, I'm kind of trying to keep a little drama free as much as possible, you know. Oh, yeah, and there's still people alive in the Iron Lung from having polio, too. Oh, sorry, Blue, you were talking to Laura. Okay. Well, I'm considering I have to make food yet and have hubby help get me dressed for work, since I am gonna have trouble getting a shirt back on. I had to practically hang myself upside down to try to slip my shirt over my arms and on me. Yeah, hubby's running into the same thing, and then he slept odd or something, and so he had no sensation in his hand today. Oh, and it was part of why we left GalaxyCon earlier too, because we didn't think to go up to his parents and get the walker that has a drop-down seat where he could have sat down. It was like where the shops were and where the stars were, there were no places to sit whatsoever. Oh, yeah. Maybe that's where I heard about it. Yeah, there's been mixed views about the Gardasil. I'd have to look more into it. But, you know, if it can prevent cervical cancer, that's fantastic. But I don't know if it was the efficacy rate that I was looking at that wasn't where they wanted it or something. And now they're thinking even the Shingrix one, the one that I reacted to, that one isn't as good as they initially thought. They need to be able to prevent HPV, the human papilloma, because it does cause the cancer, and that cancer can be fatal very fast. So, I mean, they do need to have that one. And if we can prevent at least one type of cancer, because there's hundreds, if we can at least eliminate one that we know is fatal, we know is fast spreading, and we know is painful, I'm all for it. So I do think that teenagers should get the HPV vaccine. You never know when it's, you know, what the circumstance is going to be, anything like that. I mean, even if a teenager isn't active, there's always times where incidences can happen that are bad. And so we want to prevent against that, you know. So it's a way of preventing one type of cancer. I'm all for it. Oh, nice, Laura. I'm going to have to go back and watch that tonight then at work. Yeah, I would be, of course, this is from my point of view, is I'm one who's been raped twice. And then I was also married to somebody who had multiple partners that I wasn't aware of. So at that point, it's better safe than sorry. If you can prevent it, because you just never know when it's going to come up in your in your life, you know, what something might happen. Let's look up the HPV vaccine quick. Yeah, they even recommend it for boys. Now they're saying it is safe, but it still wasn't a very big study to check its safety, though. Gardasil 9 was studied in more than 15,000 women and men. That's not a big sample size in my book. Fainting is a common side effect after the vaccine. Well, heck, I've done it on other vaccines and regular shots. Gardasil 9 protects against more types of human papillomavirus. Common side effects: pain, redness, or swelling in the arm where the shot was given, fever, headache, or feeling tired, nausea, muscle or joint pain. Anyone who's ever had a life-threatening allergic reaction to any component of HPV vaccine or to a previous dose of HPV vaccine should not get the vaccine. Anyone with severe allergies, including an allergy to yeast, should talk to their doctor before getting it. Not recommended for pregnant women, although it's not a cause for alarm. Then why isn't it recommended? This is on the CDC site that I'm looking at right now. Women who are breastfeeding can get the vaccine. People who are mildly ill, low-grade fever of less than 101 degrees, cold, runny nose, or cough, when a dose of HPV vaccine is planned, can still be vaccinated. People with moderate or severe illness should wait until they're better. And they go through years of extensive safety testing before they're approved and licensed by the FDA. And I did find out, because of my reaction to Shingrix, the shingles vaccine, that there is a reporting system in place to actually report bad effects from a vaccine, and the pharmacist was the one who reported my symptoms. I came in with the photos and everything, and they reported it to the CDC. I love it. I'm waiting to get a letter that I need to have that done too. HIV is a tricky one, and the reason why is because that virus is continually mutating. When I had my microbiology classes in college, I had done my paper on HIV. I found out that from when it first made its appearance in the 80s, or became known, it had already mutated about 70 times. And I was studying this thing in 1993. So by that point, it had mutated over 70 times. It continually mutates. And so it's very hard for them to try and vaccinate against it, and you know, it's a virus. We have the same problem with the flu virus and the flu vaccines. This year they produced a vaccine. They had misjudged which type of flu was going to be the bad one. The flu vaccine does 3 or 4 different flu viruses. There's 300 flu viruses out there. So they have to kind of guess which ones are going to be the bad spreaders. Well, HIV is just as tricky because its receptors can change, and so the vaccine might work against one type of receptor, but by that point the virus is already mutated into something else, and you're just giving somebody a shot for nothing. And so that's the tricky issue with that bugger. Oh, that's wrong. Yeah, I didn't get that. I was fine. The day I got the shot, my arm swelled up a little bit and for Shingrix, and then I was okay. And then exactly a week, and it was on my husband's birthday, so I should have gone to the ER. I was that bad. But I didn't want to get him too startled, which he gets mad at me now over that. But that exactly a week later, all of a sudden I spiked a fever. And my arm, within an hour, had swelled up where the red was most of the way down my arm from the injection site. And it was just really puffed up, really hot, really sore. The headaches kicked in. And I went and I shoved down, I have Benadryl on hand. I shoved that down first. I do have an EpiPen if I needed that. And I didn't need it that far. But I just nailed the liquids. I took Tylenol and ibuprofen, just tried to get the inflammation down. Did a dose of Benadryl and just tried to wait it out and see if I could get it to go. And the fever broke in the middle of the night, and so they think my doctor thinks it is part anaphylaxis, but something else was going on there. We weren't really sure if I had actually contracted, which I shouldn't have. I almost acted like I had a case of shingles, but this was a week after I'd gotten the injection. And the only reason we suspected the injection was part of the problem is because of the way my arm reacted, because the swelling was completely gone the day before. There was no red mark. You couldn't even tell where I got the injection. And then all of a sudden that, exactly 7 days later, it just went wild. So I can't get that anymore. That's actually kind of cool, though. You know, I was laughing about getting my first AARP letter when I turned 50. That was kind of like, oh, hey, this is kind of funny and cool at the same time. That was terrible. And, yeah, it's just, that was hilarious when I got that. I was like, oh my God, I'm that old already? Just wrong. Oh, I'm being lazy painting. Sitting here having too much fun talking to you guys before I have to go make supper in a few minutes anyway. But then I think Friday we'll finish this painting. Yeah, we'll be able to get the turtle for sure finished. What do I work on next at that point? We'll see. Yeah, except I kind of have to, Sadie, because if I don't eat before work, I'm going to have blood sugar problems at work, and that's not going to be a good thing if I pass out when I'm supposed to be taking care of somebody else. Yeah, it's 8:48 here, and I work at 11 o'clock. They suspect what might have happened is for a while they were using chimpanzee brains to make a certain type of vaccination, is one rumor that I had heard about, and I forgot where I'd seen the documentary on it. So there was some diseased tissue that they were using to make these vaccines for people in Africa, and it had mutated. And, you know, once you get something like that start mutating and it decides to adapt to a different host, There you go. Oh, Wakefield can go jump off a cliff. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I just noticed that. I'm allergic to Noxema. If I open up a jar of Noxema, I go into a respiratory attack. Which there also is another, there's one that dermatologists prescribe for fighting infections and stuff, that is called Lantiseptic, and whatever the base of that is the same as Noxema. Well, I didn't know this the first time I encountered it. I was training with a patient, and we had to use that on his tracheostomy site, so I opened the jar and accidentally inhaled, and the nurse I was with was shoving the Benadryl down my throat, monitoring me, wondering if we were going to have to do the EpiPen and call the ambulance and everything. The patient still had me come back. I worked with him for 6.5 years. But that was the first day taking care of him. And I've seriously gone into actual anaphylaxis, giving a certain antibiotic that gets nebulized. Yeah, so I've got weird, messed up allergies. Just really bad. Oh, yeah, Freely is frightening. Vegan Gaines is a snot. Oh, I can't stand him. Well, yeah, Mudbrooker, I love the smell of Noxema, but I don't dare smell it. Oh my gosh. Ew. Oh, yikes. Oh, that's awful. And I suppose, though, I better. I have to make some supper yet and get ready for work, and I forgot what time I took. Yeah, it's too early to take ibuprofen yet. It's gonna take me a little while to get dressed. So, I'm planning on live streaming again on Friday. I am planning on starting earlier because I don't have housework to do, and I don't have anywhere to go that I know of. So, yeah, we'll take it from there and see where we go. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Sadie, you need to eat. Definitely. You guys have a great night. Yeah, we do. Oh my gosh. Yes. Before we go, I watched The Creaky Blinder, and he did one about this woman talking about 8 new Mandela effects. And then she talked about 7. And one of them was about Rubik's Cube, how she remembered it being Rubix and that IK' is wrong. And I'm like, that's the guy who made it. That's his last name. What's wrong with you? So yeah, we have some gullibles here. All right. Night, everybody. I'll see you on Friday. Have a fantastic night for me and get plenty of sleep, because I won't. All right. Blessed be y'all. Good night. If I stop this, maybe. There we go. I forgot what I was doing. Bye.